Thank you for watching, and good night.
Today and welcome to Weekend Edition. I'm Isa Baza, glad you could join us. We lead off with a story involving a group of activists from Okinawa who visited Guam this week in opposition to the military expansion both here and in Japan. Here's more. Speaking out for peace and in opposition to further militarization of Guam and Okinawa, members of the No Helipad Takai Resident Society of Okinawa went before the University of Guam on Tuesday. Translator Mizuki Nakamura interpreted testimony from founding members Ikuko Isa and Yukine Ashimine, who said Okinawans have endured terrible crimes by U.S. personnel since the end of World War II,
including rapes and murders.
She detailed one particular crime, the rape of a 12-year-old girl by 3 Marines in 1995, saying it was a turning point that led many Okinawans to protest against further militarization. And just as residents in Guam have protested against the live fire training range complex at Rotary, she said Okinawan residents have similarly protested against the construction of 6 helipads near Takai due to concerns over health and environmental impacts, but to no avail.
We have been alarming and warning that, the accidents and troubles could occur anytime above us, above our residential area. And this fear has become reality in October the 11th this year, just 2 weeks ago, when CH-53, a large transport helicopter of the U.S. military, crashed on the residential area.
While no one was hurt, the community is now concerned about possible environmental contamination.
They were carrying the radioactive materials over on their helicopter. So because it crashed and burst into flames and big smokes, black smoke were coming out from the helicopter. So we are really concerned that the radioactive substances scatter around the residential area, but we have no right to do any types of investigation.
The helipads are expected to be used nearly 5,000 times per year and cause extreme noise pollution as well as low-frequency waves that shake houses and make it difficult for residents to sleep. She said the group stands in solidarity with Guam.
We feel that there are so many things that we need to learn from each other and share our experience and stories and ideas, and to develop our solidarity and to raise voice against the expansion of U.S. military on both islands.
While we haven't carved our turkeys or trimmed the tree just yet, the spirit of Christmas is already in full swing. Last weekend, the Angel Tree program started its efforts to ensure no child is forgotten this holiday season, especially children of prisoners. Crystal Paco has more.
It's called the Angel Tree program.
This is a program where the prisoners have asked that on their behalf that we give presents to their children. They can't do it themselves, but we can do it for them.
John Wise is the chairman of Prison Fellowship Guam. Year after year, the program caters to hundreds of Guam children whose parents will be spending the holidays in a jail cell, not at home with their families. Last weekend, the program held its annual community training at the Bayview Baptist Church in Mungmung.
And so we've had today the representatives of several of the churches here on Guam that are fairly new to the program, learning what the program is about, how to handle it, and getting the names of the children that are in their areas of their churches that they can contact the caregivers and find out what it is the children want and get them to them and then deliver them through their church.
The program puts emphasis on the church and finding Christ, what Wise says can make all the difference when it comes time for mom or dad to be released from prison.
And one of the things that we have found in our program here on Guam with Prison Fellowship is that when the prisoners themselves come to know Christ and find a church when they get out, the odds are only about 30% that they will be returned to prison. If this does not happen, the odds are between 60 and 70% that they will return to prison.
It can also be a game changer for their children, whose statistics suggest are likely to follow in their parents' footsteps.
Also, the children of prisoners, there's 70% of them will, generally speaking, end up in prison themselves. Where in the case of those that find out about a church through something like the Angel Tree program, they themselves will not join that 70%. It will be a much, much lower ratio that goes in. So Prison Fellowship Angel Tree program is something that is very, very good, something that is really wonderful in terms of bringing the true spirit of Christmas into a family, into a household that otherwise would not know it.
A total of 332 children are in need of gifts through the local Angel Tree program. If you would like more information and want to get involved, call 489-8262 or email vangie_Guam@yahoo.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Thanks, Crystal. They're joining forces to support Guam's only public hospital. Now 2 years in the making, representatives from the various Rotary clubs of Guam presented 22 wheelchairs to the Guam Memorial Hospital and the Skilled Nursing Unit. Wayne Santos is the Rotary Assistant District Governor for the Pacific Basin Group.
We also believe that we have a shared responsibility to take action when needed in our community in order to make a difference. Today, we continue to partner with the Guam Memorial Hospital and the Skilled Nursing Facility to help make a difference for their staff and their patients.
The donation totals over $8,400. Their next donation, Santos says, will be baby blankets. It's a nonprofit organization whose vision is optimal quality of wellness for all. Joan Uggan-Triforus has more on transforming ourselves through healing, growth, and enrichment, also known as Togi, which serves as a Guahan peer support cultivation foundation.
It was the vision of the late Don Sabang, who was a drug and alcohol supervisor at the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, a peer support network for people in recovery. PIO, Garrett Duenas.
They were able to afford that through a grant, the brass tax grant, and in October of last year was when the committee formed to actually just do all the think about it and setting up everything, do the articles of incorporation and the bylaws, and then in January we became official.
Togi in Chamorro translates to stand up or rise.
Everybody that's involved within the organization is somebody who has been through some type of addiction in their life, whether it be from alcohol to substance abuse to illicit drugs and through opioid prescription drugs as well. But we have averted ourselves through recovery, and in return we want to provide for others in that sense, because who better to talk to and talk about getting help than to somebody who's been there.
Jeremiah Santos, who serves as Togi's chairman, said he wanted to get involved with the organization when he saw how effective peer counseling was at New Beginnings. For Brad Drake, who is the secretary, peer support was vital to his recovery.
I can honestly say without it, I don't know how it would have ended up, because there are these people that I could totally relate to that have been through the struggles that do come with addiction, and they've been down that path and they made it out. And that just gave me a overwhelming sense of hope,
Peer specialist Benny Cruz isn't part of the Togi board, but he's been instrumental in all of their recovery.
I was around, I was a client, I was under probation. We all just try to come together and help each other out because we all know what we're going through.
And for Vice Chairman Dean Toves, as a client, he initially just joined Togi to fill an open spot.
Come to find out, I was really good at it, really good at helping out people, really good at coming up with things to do for Togi.
In fact, Toves is currently going to school to become a substance abuse counselor. He says although Togi is still growing, the word is starting to spread about how good the group really is.
When someone sees that one person that's working with Togi is doing really well, it ends up attracting another. And then when we have two people that are doing really well, we attract a third. And then we build from there. So then we build this massive support system.
They acknowledge the hard work that the Mandanya Drug Task Force and law enforcement has been doing to crack down on drugs and keeping it off the street.
It's great that there's an enforcement side of it, and, working with, to make sure that we cut off the supply and all that stuff, but we're not thinking about the rehabilitation of these people, Once they get arrested, what happens after?
All are certified peer recovery specialists, which was made possible through training and education courtesy of New Beginnings.
We're certified to help others in recovery and offer them counseling one-on-one, and to a certain extent. That's really what the focus is somebody who can relate to you and can help you facilitate change in your life, can be open and honest with you, can guide you not in front of you or in back of you, but by side. And that's what we want to do as a group, and to help others.
If you would like more information or would like to help assist in their mission, you can email togipscf@gmail.com. You can also like and follow Togi Guam on Facebook and Instagram. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonah Gonçalves.
Thanks, Joan. The group is holding a movie fundraiser, the premiere of Thor, this Saturday, November 4th at the Agana Stadium Theaters. If you would like to purchase tickets, you can contact Garrett at 687-1196 or Dean at 686-7531. Well, stay tuned. Next on Weekend Edition, we'll rehash some of the big stories of the past week, and still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers report.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming of KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
We value relationships. Because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
We are in it for the long run. So you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
Find your reason to celebrate with a brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 8 at ITNE.
If you get nervous about having dental treatment, you're not alone. An estimated 35 million adults experience anxiety or nervousness at the simple thought of visiting the dentist. As your dentist, I strive to make your visit as painless or pain-free as possible. And I frequently tell my patients that in the 21st century, if we can give you medicines to put your tooth asleep or medicines to take an infection or toothache away, we can surely give you something to help relax you and take all fear away. No one ought to sit in a dental chair thinking of bad childhood memories or fearing injections. If you're a dental coward, but you really do want your teeth fixed, don't wait until the pain is killing you. Come in, tell us your fears, and set up an appointment. We have convinced many that dental treatment doesn't need to be scary anymore. For your helpful dental minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. You shall never know all the good a simple smile can do.
Has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kidza Smaasi Matson.
And welcome back to Weekend Edition. This is Rehash, where we recap the big stories of the week. And so, Crystal, big news with the Agababa trial.
Yes, big news out of the courtroom. I've been following this story for 4 years now, and so to see it end like this was a big shocker, especially to me. Earlier this week, the court dismissed the case against Alan Agababa. Again, he's accused of aggravated murder of his mother, Shelley Bernstein, who was only 55 years old, and she was found dead in her Tumuning apartment. So the government had a few ideas of how she passed, and they believe that it was one, either Alan hit her and she died of blunt force trauma to the head, or two, that he placed fentanyl patches on her, and so she was found with these fentanyl patches. They're prescription painkillers on her arm, and she might have died from overdose, but they couldn't make their case. They couldn't prove the case, and you could see that because twice he faced a jury, and both times they were hung juries, which rendered a mistrial. And ultimately, in the surprising turn of events, the government was actually the one that filed that motion to dismiss without prejudice, and that means that in the future he could be tried again for the similar or the same charge, but at this point they've said they will not proceed with a third trial. So now he's a free man after 4 years behind bars. He was released, it was Thursday or Wednesday, and I think the first thing he did was he went out to spend time with his family.
Yeah.
How about you, Nick?
Yeah, so from one court case to another, it's over to the Department of Corrections, again speaking about those officers involved in that alleged scheme to smuggle contraband into the prison. We've seen more and more defendants come out of this case, but right now we're dealing with the main 13. Out of those 13, one of those, former officer, Jerry Hokog, actually was granted the motion to sever his case from the rest. Of course, his defense attorney, J.R. Elio, asking that his case be separated because he doesn't have as aggressive charges as the others, and so he doesn't want the jury to take it as at face value and see his client and bump them all in with the rest. And so he thinks that it'll be a fair trial if he's tried separately, and his trial date is set for December 10th. The rest still going through all the motions before that 3,000 pages of discovery is all filtered through, and then they set dates for the rest.
And so switching to the political scene, the legislature was in session this weekend. A couple of the bills had to do with election reform. One of them was from Senator Tommy Morrison. And you know how we're used to seeing all those political campaign signs on the roadways? Mm-hmm. Well, that will be no more if the governor signs it into law. His bill prohibits political signage on public rights of way. That does not preclude on private property, because of course he can't regulate that. So, but it still allows for candidates who are carrying signs to do the wave that we're also very much used to. That's not prohibited. So as long as they're carrying the signs, they can be on the public roadways and do the wave that we always see during campaign season. The second bill was by Senator Joe S. and Augustine, and that would be to relieve the Guam Election Commission of from conducting primary elections. He believes the taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for that. It should be the responsibility of the political parties, and if the political parties want to conduct their primaries, they can do so, but he doesn't want the taxpayers to foot the bill. But when it came up for a vote, there were some questions about it, so Speaker B.J. Cruz referred it back to committee, and Senator San Augustine says he's going to further amend it and try to push for a public hearing so that he can get it on the next legislative session next month.
Well, switching gears again to public health, you probably remember when 4 food stalls at the Guam Premier Outlets were shut down earlier this month due to signs of a rodent and cockroach infestation. And so once again earlier this week, San Jose Supermarket in Maiti was closed down, 3 of its facilities, due to signs of both a rodent and cockroach infestation. Someone filed a complaint saying they saw feces in the facility, so public health did their inspection, found that complaint was valid, and shut the supermarket down, so they'll be working to correct those. We did reach out to the supermarket earlier this week, but they hadn't responded to us as of news time. But ending on some good news, the 4 stalls that were closed at GPO, at least 3 of them were re-inspected this week. All 3, Mongo Mongo, Imperial Garden, and China Walk received an A rating with 0 demerit, so they will be reopening. Well, don't forget, if you have any news tips, just email us at reporters@kuam.com.
It's It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event. Going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big. With the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway. And an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line. Like a new Accent starting at $11,995. Or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
When you know what you want and you want it great, look no further than Ruby Tuesday's new Steakhouse Sensations menu. Choose from a 20-ounce dry aged prime bone-in ribeye or an 8-ounce filet mignon tenderloin. Either steak seared to your preference and served with 2 specialty sides, like the Nancy mashed potatoes, grilled asparagus, or roasted Brussels sprouts. Enjoy surf and turf and add a succulent lobster tail or tender grilled salmon fillet to complete your meal. This plus a whole lot more. It's Steakhouse Sensations for a limited time and only at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
How does tourism work for Guam? Half a day!
Half a day!
Tourism tax dollars fund improvements around our island. Tourism helps maintain our community centers and public parks. Tourism dollars are invested where it counts, promoting village shops and locally made products. Tourism keeps the spirit of our past alive through restoration of historical sites. Tourism supports environmental efforts that protect our natural resources. Tourism improves our quality of life. It helps make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Tourism works for Guam.
St. John's Drama Department presents the Karen Flores production. Lights Out. This original play is November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, second floor of the plaza. Tickets $10 each and can be purchased at the door. For more information, call 488-6899.
Trick-or-treating is super fun for everybody, but if you are a little person and you'll be in costume, it's best to travel in a pack. That's why we got the Sarge here, Sergeant Paul Tapau, and we are going to talk about how to travel when you're trick-or-treating. Sarge, welcome back.
Hey, thank you so much. You know, last week we discussed the proper costume and fitting your ghouls and your goblins.
We did.
So this week, you know, we're going to focus on, you know, just pretty much safety in general and what to do in Halloween. And, you know, you hit it on the head again. You know, you always, parents, you should always accompany your child when you're going trick-or-treating. It's always best to have your parent there with you, or also, you know, if you can't afford that, have a mature adult that's going to accompany the kids. You know, especially this time the kids are going to be excited, they're going to be running around, so you need to maintain law and order. So what better way than to have a parent there? And, you know, we want to stress, you know, the theory is be seen and be safe. You know, look for reflective devices such as a flashlight will always work well, or you can actually use the glow sticks that are going to be given out to various places. So take advantage of the opportunity to obtain a glow sticks, because you want to be seen and, you know, you want to be safe.
You know what I'm seeing a lot more of, Paul, these days, and people use them, and very positively so, are those like reflective, like, I want to call them like the safety patrol, like the smocks and everything like that. Where do we get those?
Well, you can get them at pretty much any hardware store or any heavy equipment store. Those are actually used by road workers out in the, you know, that's always out in the field and always exposed to heavy traffic.
They do a fantastic job.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it a mile away, and, you know, we don those the same reflective vests when we go out and we do our night operations with our DUI enforcement. So, you know, I mean, the more visibility that you can gain from your costume, the better it is for the driver to understand that I need to slow down because I can see a hazard right in front of me. So a flashlight, a glow stick, or a reflective vest that you mentioned.
Well, here's something that I'm sure a lot of kids watching us right now are going to say. They're like, you know, trick-or-treating is something that I want to do with my friends. You know, we're maybe a bunch of like 11-year-olds or something like that. There's going to be 20 of us all together. We don't need an adult because it's our neighborhood. We know the area. It's better to have a whole bunch of kids than a few kids and an adult. And that's completely wrong, right? You should always have an adult.
Yes, especially at this time, because you're going to be going to houses that you don't know, regardless if it's your neighborhood. You always want to have that mature adult to make good, sound decisions when things should happen and everything. And in the event of an emergency, that mature adult or that parent has access to, numbers where they can call, or the family members that they can call. So, we advise to have all, ghouls and goblins to make sure that they have a responsible parent or a responsible adult with them while accompanying them when they're going trick-or-treating.
One thing I'm also seeing parents do is tell their kids, when you go out trick-or-treating, if you're going with your older brother or something like that, just get on Facebook Messenger and share your location with me so I can actually see where you're walking around.
Yeah, it's great. You can plan your travels and what you're going to do, because in the event that you guys get lost or you guys, get separated, you know where they're going to be and you know where everybody's going to be at a certain time. So really plan out if you're going to be visiting other different neighborhoods because of the treats that they give out, and it's a new neighborhood and you only visit once a year. So you're going to have to plan accordingly where we're going to meet in the event something should happen. Have that in the back of your head. Make sure you have a plan in store in the event something should happen.
All right. What do we got this week for Crime of the Week?
This week is an armed robbery that happened right out here on the Harmon Loop Road.
Okay. This is our neighbor, so we want you to know how you can help.
On Friday, October 6th, at around 8:24 in the evening, officers assigned to the Dedito Precinct Command entertained a strong armed robbery reported at the Compardius Mall and Harmon Loop Road in Harmon. According to the police report, at around 8 p.m., the female victim was walking on the northbound sidewalk on Harmon Loop Road towards the Compardius Mall when two young boys, possibly in their teens, rode by her on bicycle. The victim noted that the two boys turned around and started to ride back towards her. As the boys got closer, one of them grabbed her cell phone that she was holding in her hand. The boys were then seen riding back towards the Compardius Mall, in which the victim indicated that the only thing she could recall was that both boys were wearing black. Now, the Guam Crime Stoppers is asking the help from the community in reference to this case. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP, that's 4357, or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
All right, everybody, we love being here in Harmon. It is our home, and we want to do the very best that we can to help keep our village safe, so please help us do the same. And you got some other information you want to pass along?
Yeah, if parents want to see or you want to go take your ghouls and goblins to a safe alternate site, please join us down at the Agani Shopping Center from 4 to 6. I am part of the Red Ribbon team, and of course it's Red Ribbon Month, and we're going to close out our event with the Just Say Boo to Drugs campaign at Agani Shopping Center. There's going to be free candy going to be given out, and you're going to get a chance to meet the members of the Red Ribbon team that's been visiting the various schools throughout our drug-free campaign. So again, it's Halloween day or Halloween night from 4 to 6 at Agani Shopping Center.
Okay, final thought. What's your costume this year for Halloween?
Somebody sent me a text. They said their child wanted to be Officer Tapao, and I was really taken back by that. So
nice.
I was like, really, thank you so much. But, this year, I guess I'm going to probably, I don't know, I might just have to think about it as it comes along. I'm not one to plan or anything, but really it was, that's something that I need to think about.
We'll tell you what, Sarge, we are going to go to commercial break. Let's go roll by the dungeon and we'll go pick out some costumes.
Hey, if there's parking that's going to allow us to park, so we'll make a check together.
All right, we have got a job to do, so we will see you on the flip side of this break. We got costumes to pick up.
Nissan's fall clearance event is on. Save as much as $8,000 on the award-winning Titan. Get the best price of the year on the full line of sedans, trucks, and SUVs. Drive away in the all-new Rogue Sport, including rear-view camera, text messaging assistant, and streaming audio for only $120 per pay period. You'll find more great deals on the Altima SR, the Legendary C, or the 7-passenger Quest, starting at just $149 per pay period during the fall clearance event at Nissan Upper Tumon. Find out more at nissanguam.com.
Say hello to the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas, Guam, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. When your passion goes beyond your island, choose a plan that takes you further. With Docomo Pacific's My Plans, you can do a lot throughout the Marianas. 20 gigs for $79 or 30 gigs for $99. All the data you need to connect, share, and make all your ideas happen. Dream big, reach higher with My Plans. Docomo Pacific, better together.
It's back and bigger than ever. The big deal is going on now at Triple J. 0 down, 1.9% financing plus a $500 Kmart gift certificate. Save big with deals like the Ford F-150 at $266 per paycheck, the Mazda CX-3 at $154, the Kia Optima at $169 per paycheck, or the Honda Accord at $193 per paycheck. Stop by today or visit us online at triplejguam.com and see print ads for details. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Triple J, 33 years of putting customers first.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist. Over 20 years of experience.
Find your reason to celebrate with a brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 8 at ITNE.
It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995, or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday, Lonnie Sablon and Charfris, coming from your mom, Mercy Jesus, and the whole family. Happy birthday, Mia Chloe Decano, from your entire family. Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by ITNE Life in Motion.